It was a night like any other. The kind of quiet, humid night that makes you feel alone in the world. For the officers on patrol in the town of Ravens Hollow, it was just another traffic stop. A routine citation for a broken taillight. They had no idea they were about to pull on a thread that would unravel into a nightmare and discover a secret so vile, so horrifying, it would cling to their souls forever. The driver was nervous, jittery. She talked too much, her words tumbling out in a frantic, desperate river. She spoke of hard times, of living out of her car, of a darkness she couldn't escape. She said something strange then, a phrase that would later echo in the officers' minds. She said, "You'll see me on the news tomorrow." The paperwork was done, a tow truck was on its way. It should have ended there, but then the wind shifted, and it carried with it a smell. It wasn't the smell of garbage or old food. Every cop knows that smell. This was different. This was the sweet, cloying, putrid scent of decay. The smell of death. It was coming from the car. She insisted it was just dirty laundry, that it had been sitting for months. But you don't forget that smell. It gets in your clothes, your hair, it gets in your dreams. The officers knew. Something was very, very wrong in that trunk. With gloves on and breaths held, they began to dig. Through the bags, through the lies. The stench was a physical force now, a wall of rot, and then their blades hit something solid. A suitcase. The woman was begging now. "It's just my husband's dirty clothes," she cried. But her eyes were screaming the truth. The officer unzipped the suitcase. The sound of the zipper was like a scream in the silent night. Inside, more blankets, wrapped tight, swarming with insects. He pulled them back, and there it was. The source of the smell, the source of the nightmare. It wasn't an animal. It was the small, curled-up form of a child, wrapped like garbage and forgotten in the dark. But the horror was not over. The trunk had one more secret to give. As homicide detectives arrived, their flashlights cutting through the gloom, they kept digging. And buried deeper still, beneath another mountain of plastic and despair, was a second container, a plastic tote, and inside, a second small body. 2 children, a little girl and a little boy, niece and nephew, left in the care of a woman whose heart was a haunted house. She claimed it was an accident, a discipline that went too far. She said she was scared, but the truth was far more monstrous. She had lived with their bodies for months, driving from town to town, carrying her terrible secret with her, the decay of her soul matching the decay in her trunk. The woman is behind bars now. She will never see the outside world again. But for the officers who opened that trunk, the world forever has a stain on it. They still smell it sometimes, on a humid night, or when a certain wind blows. They remember the weight of that suitcase. They remember the tiny, lifeless forms. Some say evil is a monster, a demon, a thing that goes bump in the night. But sometimes, the most profound evil is a quiet one. It's the simple, horrifying act of forgetting that a child is a person. It's the sound of a zipper closing in the dark. And it's the smell that never, ever truly leaves you.